The deal is done. Elon Musk says he's now the chief twit of the social media giant. He waltzed, as you see, into Twitter's San Francisco headquarters, brandishing a bathroom sink. Let that sink in, he joked. And reality has sunk in for the woke employees of the company. Musk also saying, though, that it is important for the future of civilization to have a common digital town square. And he's promising advertisers that Twitter will not become a free-for-all hellscape. But that reassurance may be falling on deaf ears. In the last 90 days, at least 530 employees have called it quits at Twitter. And those who stayed are demanding quit. Leadership does not discriminate against workers on the basis of their race, gender, disability, sexual orientation, or political beliefs. Critics quick to point out that some of those same employees apparently use political beliefs to discriminate against conservatives.
Yep.
So do you like Musk?
Yeah, I do like Musk. I like him a lot.
And what do you think is going to be different in Twitter?
Well, obviously, he's not going to suppress conservative voices. I mean, he's going to make it. He says, what does he say? It's not going to be a free-for-all hellscape, but he's going to make it the public town square.
Are you on Twitter?
Yeah. He also said that he wants to take it public in a few years, which means that he wants to make it a money, he's got to make it successful. And, those people who quit, I mean, they've got to be people who know that, they're responsible for, making sure that certain opinions have been squashed. And also, I think he should clean house, totally. Mm-hmm. I think he's totally right. Clean house, go in there. I like the sink analogy. I think it's great.
When you pay $44 billion for a website, basically, you better have your say.
Well, he overpaid, and he knows it.
He did overpay.
And he'll have his say, and it's a bloated company. The headcount is bloated, and so he'll have to cut some staff, and that's fine. They're not making any money, Geraldo. And liberals didn't care. They were like, well, let's just hire 100,000 workers, not make any money. What's the problem? Well, the problem is you're losing money and you're corrupting the country. So he'll come in and you have a red wave. You have Hunter Biden investigations going after the red wave, and you have Musk running Twitter. This is the Democrats' worst nightmare.
Well, I don't know. When you pay $44 billion, though, Dana, you should have the right to innovate, and he is an innovator.
Yeah.
And so far, so good with Tesla.
Well, 530 is a great start. I'd be
530
glad.
quitting.
Yeah, that's. Yeah. I would say.
What about Trump? That's what I meant to ask you. What about Trump inviting Trump back?
Well, we'll see what I think Musk had said that if he were to take over, he will do it. So we can wait and see. If I was an employee there, I would just. I'd be curious. Like, okay, well, does he have a way to make it better? I mean, they love him for the environmental vehicles. They love him for the fact of Starlink and the fact that he's providing internet access to the people of Ukraine while they're being pounded by Russia. They like a lot of things that he's done. Like, maybe just give him a second.
I think that's great advice. Give him a second. But what about the fact that he has become a real force in terms of commenting on Ukraine with using Starlink as a leverage, commented on Taiwan, and China should have some influence there, he says. He says some bombshell things that, maybe we should worry a little bit, or should we, about checks and balances?
I don't know. I think right now I have to apologize. That poem Red Wheelbarrow was by William Carlos Williams and not E.E. Cummings. This will be my last show at Fox. I love how the Twitter staff is worried that there's going to be new discrimination against political beliefs. No, they're worried that they can no longer discriminate against political beliefs. By the way, a free-for-all hellscape sounds kind of fun, Dana.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Permission to use an analogy, and it was one that you used the other day, the Mrs. Doubtfire analogy. Twitter is Mrs. Doubtfire, and the algorithm is Robin Williams. And Musk knows what's under the hood, and he's going to end up showing Twitter what they've been missing, what Mrs. Doubtfire really is. And that's going to explode a lot of heads, because these are people that only see certain news perspectives based on an algorithm. He knows what the algorithm is. He's going to go like this, and he's going to throw it out there, and it's going to be missing. And he's not an engineer. He's not a scientist. He majored in, I think, philosophy and economics. I'm not sure. But he mastered the electric battery. He mastered space exploration. This is going to be a no-brainer for him. And he's not doing it because he has to.
Right.
He's not even doing it because he really wants to. He just decided to do it because he realized this Twitter has really been screwing up this country.
Yeah.
He knows it.
Yeah. He's been quoting E.E. Cummings.
Yeah.
Yes.
I trust Musk as much as I trust the New York Times editorial board. I think that they're equally credible, or not.